in the courts and expressing same every day, right? Actually gets to them, by the way. So in that regard, people realize that no matter what those in government, no matter what they do, they will never be held responsible. There is always going to be a way for the supposed court that should hold them responsible to free them. So therefore, the trust in the entire system is broken. The third estate of the realm that was supposed to uphold the last fabric of the country has been compromised and it is broken. So she is like and there are many, many like that, okay, that are likely going to die disappointed like that. Because that's what I kind of love to ask. You see all this hatred, divisive, tribal hatred that is currently so weaponized in Nigeria. And if you want to be honest, you will know that at the moment Tifnumbu became your president, it got more amplified as he made his, what do you call it, sewage dwellers to keep spreading that if you are opposed to Tifnumbu or Tifnumbu's government, it simply means you are an enemy of Yoruba land. And of course, you must be the friend of the Igbo. You see this Igbo Yoruba debacle that you are seeing all over the place, which majority of you will 100% agree is politically weaponized. Now, the elites themselves are seeing, so somebody like that retired justice that is over 70, she is still looking like, man, this country, because the judiciary had allowed criminals to perpetuate a state capture when it mattered most. They folded, and the criminals who have taken over the country have divided the country even more with so much hatred. So they want the judiciary to possibly do something now. It is too late. Too late. And they should worry more because there is still so much worse that will happen. The Ronukus generally, let me tell you this story, right? I know possibly you've been following, and you possibly have, because I don't know how much they have gotten to a lot of people. However, in the last few months, right, the news coming from Ghana against Nigerians has been, tilting towards asking Nigerians to leave Ghana. And why? Okay. First, an old video of a man identified as Eze Ndigbo Ghana, which is like their what the ceremonial the Igbos in Ghana said they were going to buy some hectares of land to build Igbo village. You remember? So that came back to social media, and the reaction was like, no, because prior to that, there were already an already brewing sort of like rancor between the Ghanaian traders in that part of Ghana. I think it's Accra. So Ghanaian traders and Nigerian traders. So what is the bone of contention? What exactly was the problem? Right. The problem started when they said in Ghana, right, most of the wholesale traders, not all of their wholesale, most of their wholesale traders, those who come and sell in bulk to those who are going to buy and resell as retailers, right? They say most of them are from Nigeria. And the deal then was that they would sell like, wholesale price to these retailers, the retailers who had their own price to go and resell to Ghanaians. In the process, they now said some Nigerian traders are now opening shops where they are now selling directly to Ghanaians at the same retail price, but much discounted. So an example is this. Somebody brings their wares now, right? And they landed in Ghana, and every trader came to come and pick them up and say, okay, I'm going to sell you a pack of these remote control lights, right? I'm going to sell it to you for uh, a pack. And in the pack, you have maybe 10. So I'm going to sell it to you for 10 CDs. So 10 CDs for this. So meaning each of them is one CD, right? One CD, one CD, one CD. Okay. So the retailers are happy with that. The wholesaler is happy. Everybody got it. So the retailer goes back to resell it to everybody in pieces. So it needs to add its own profit and, of course, tax and whatever. So the retailer, in this sense, is now selling each unit for 10 CDs. You get it now? So for what he got for 10 CDs for 10, it's now going to sell for 100 CDs. So these Nigerian traders who now have their own like shops, now selling in pieces too, right? Probably are now selling for maybe 2 CDs or 2 CDs 50, or let's say 3 CDs. So that simply means these retailers are going to be like losing a lot. This was the foundation of their wahala. You get? So it's been happening. They've been like back and forth and all that, while others are like, it's business. And others are like, no, you can't just come and run out out of business like that. And in the mix of it all, right, Ghanaians, there are Ghanaians that actually like them, because to them they're like, they have names for them. I didn't cram out those names, okay? So they have names for the Nigerian shop owners. So they'll say the same thing, the same charger that I'm going to buy from a Ghanaian trader for this price is the same I'm going to buy for this from this Nigerian trader for this price. So that imbalance, that one is already going on in the local markets. It's not like it is the whole of Ghana. Do you understand? Then the Ronukus, in this sense, have decided to amplify it, making it more or less like it is an Igbo thing. Listen, you see, when I try to explain things in this manner, right, it is to possibly allow you, right, to see beyond what an end result want to be like, a premeditated end kind of like result. So let me explain that to you. Outside Nigeria, for example, when you push any agenda in the name of Yorubas or Igbos or maybe another tribe that you feel like you could actually like tag as responsible for anything outside Nigeria, it is more or less like an act of foolishness, so to say, because you see, outside Nigeria, people barely care where you come from in Nigeria. And as much as you probably will have your targets, I mean, you have your preferred target and targeted, right? But there are others who has nothing, right, to do with whatever you might be angry about, that you know what I mean? And then they will become victims too. And I have seen people targeted, not because of where they come from in Nigeria, simply because they are from Africa, from Nigeria. So when, in this day and time anyway, on social media, where everyone just want to, you get me now? Everybody just want to try to show who is, meanest, so to say, like who can display the meanest sort of like attitude. So all they need is just an excuse. Do you get what I mean now? Then back in Nigeria, where they have amplified your Yoruba versus Igbo this, to some of you on both sides, right? whether you are on the side of the Igbo bigots, yeah, or you are on the side of the Yoruba bigots, fighting, doing this your tribal nonsense and the rest of that, right? The point here is this: except for the fact that it is more or less like a politically motivated, and you are trying to outdo one another, right? But when you look like inward, you realize that as much as you are trying to probably hurt yourselves, there are others who are going to be caught up or ended up caught up within that madness, who are really never interested in any of this. But not that it actually really mattered that much. Okay. But the thing is this: if this is your reality, that you have so much to say about the Yorubas and how Yorubas are this, that, right? Or you have so much to say about the Igbos are this or that, like the Ronukus are pretty much pushing, right? The thing here is this: it should be easier for all of you to begin to, renounce Nigeria. You can't hold on to Nigeria simply because you have a Tinubu, all right? And at the same time, begin to mark ground on social media, because it doesn't really actually like work that easily outside the social media, except in Lagos. Do you get what I mean? Right? So this their wahala in Ghana, right, has now snowballed because it's social media now. They have the Ronukus who are there to remind everybody that if anybody is doing anything wrong in Ghana, it is the Igbos. That is what they are doing in Lagos too. That is why we want them out of our land. And people are reading all these things. Ghanaians are pretty much like your next door neighbor when it comes to social media. So they see everything too. And to be honest, I think it helped influence some of their own reactions on social media and off social media too. So putting Nigerians in Ghana, especially Nigerian traders in Ghana, right, in harm's way. But an average Ronuku doesn't care. Probably believes that there's no Yoruba person doing business in Ghana too. Or, oh yeah, if there's a Yoruba person doing business in Ghana, hey, see, if that person says Ghanaians, if that person says he's a Yoruba, leave him alone, okay? Just go after the Igbos, eh? Or if that person is, that level of madness being displayed on the world stage, they are just the evidence, right? That, except for those who are probably still pretending, they are the evidence that this contraption is better apart. Now that you still can, without all of us grabbing guns. Because if politicians want us to start killing ourselves with the level of hatred they have already kind of like embedded in so many of you, I don't think it's going to be really hard, before you start shooting yourselves if you have to. Just saying. Anyway, this is where Nigeria is. This is something they want to probably pretend it's not happening. Somebody made this video in Nigeria, possibly in the UK. I'm not sure it's in Ghana. And with this level of vileness, I will close my case.
Wallahi are supposed to be prophets. I don't know why I don't want to be prophet. Sure, I remember when I talk this thing, say, now these people importation, I ain't spoil Nigeria, I ain't make us stay where we did today. So now let me prove it to you. You see the same problem where they get for Ghana, the same problem they're having in Ghana. If you see what they happen for this spare parts market, where they say they want to get one meeting this afternoon, today Wednesday, so they're having this meeting this Wednesday. Guess what happened? They said those spare parts, those Nigerian spare parts dealers, the Igbo spare parts dealers, said they used to be their suppliers. Listen to this one. Said they used to be their suppliers. All they did was supply and go, right? Then all of a sudden, they started setting up shops. Guess what? So now they set up those shops, right? Then started competing with the people they used to supply to before. So now, before they supply something, give those ones 10 cedis, right? Those ones go sell out 20 cedis. They could make 10 cedis, right? So now these same people, where they supply them the product for 10 cedis, Con decided to open shop next to them and started selling it for 10 cedis. So now let me clear you on this one. Let me clear you. Wait to one crossroad. I don't cross road. So you see, say if you remember, say them they buy them, then they supply them 10 cedis, right? For them to be supplying at 10 cedis means they must have been buying it. That's the supplier. They must have been getting it from the manufacturer for like 5 cedis. That's why they are selling for 10 cedis, right? Supplier. So now retailer, right? Retailer can't retail. Those ones they sell them for 20. Those ones self will make 10 because they could pay shop rent and all those things. So now you, where you be supplier before, you now decided to start retailing. Don't you know what you've just done? You've just killed everybody's market. All the other retailers, all the Ghanaian retailers, you've just sent them home. And you just don't care because money na water to you, or anything will be money, now you just care about. That's why they want you to leave. And me, I don't blame them. You have to leave. But the problem is this, like I said, you don't tear your passport. So I don't know where you leave, they come. Because you see, it was hard for us to combat something like this. That's why our Nigeria went the way. When we look at our fuel, they would rather us buy imported fuel than buy the one Dangote is manufacturing locally in Nigeria, because they want to make money. They don't care. They're ruthless. When you hear ruthless businessmen, they are ruthless businessmen. So my Ghanaian people, please, save yourself. Me, I no good. One thing about me, I know sabi lie. You understand? My gift wey God give me, I know sabi lie. I dey see things because I think deep and I think outside the box. So it's either if we save for Nigeria, want save Nigeria, we must stop all importation. Anything we can manufacture locally, do without it. Yeah? If you can't manufacture it locally, do without it. If those people, where they let's assume it, you want wear Gucci, right? You want wear Gucci. Make Gucci, they make the Gucci for Nigeria. Simple as that. So they go say Gucci made in Nigeria. That's why you will see Gucci made in Pakistan, or Gucci made in China, or Gucci made in Turkey.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
There are so many young people with that kind of foolish mindset of that young man too, right? Because to them, it is the fault of someone who brings business to Ghana and decided to expand it the way he wanted, not the fault of the government, right? That possibly makes it impossible for these local traders to produce that same products in their country other than to import it. It is not the fault of the government that probably couldn't put together or set aside the fund to help the local traders to be able possibly form a union and begin to import their own stuff themselves. It is the fault of a man who came to solve a problem, or a woman who came to solve a problem, a gap in the market, legitimately, not illegally, legitimately. It is not the government of Ghana that is accusing these traders of doing any illegal trading or malpractices. It is the local traders who have become so angry that, they will lose their businesses if these suppliers fails to sell to them and continue to open their own retail shops. Similarly, in Nigeria, an average Ronuku or another Don's Nigerian who knows very well that when it comes to this importing and what have you, of course, the Igbos kind of like dominates the area. And to hurt the Igbos, we must stop importation. Who is going to stop